In this video, I'm going to show you how you should present the results of your SPSS analysis in your assignment. It is not good practice to simply cut and paste the cost tabulations from SPSS output into publications. This is because the tables that SPSS generates are not very user-friendly. There's a little bit too much information in them, and particularly for people who are not interested, who do not have much experience of interpreting data, they can be quite difficult to navigate. So the best practice is to use the data that SPSS generates and create either tables in Word or charts in Excel. I'm going to show you how to do that using the cross tabulation between the variables how much interest you have in politics, that's the recoded one, and views on climate change. So let's start with a word table. So I'm going to start off by inserting a word table, go onto table, and then so a table around about probably 4 by 6 is probably going to work for me. If I've got that wrong, I can always add some more rows and columns later on. So I'm going to use the same layout as the SPSS. I'm going to put the climate change in the rows here, and I'm going to put views on politics in the columns. So I'll start off by merging those two cells. While I'm doing that's going to become apparent in a minute. It's going to merge those two cells, and I'm going to label this column here views on climate change. If I could spell. Then the first one is climate change is not happening. Second is climate change is not caused by human activity. So I've simplified the actual answers a little bit, and then climate change is caused by human activity. Okay, so therefore I've got my categories for the climate change. Then I'm just going to merge those two cells there and call that views on politics. No, it's not views, is it? Sorry, it's interest in politics. I'm going to put that in the middle there, and then a great. Okay, and maybe just to summarize this, I'll call this a great deal stroke quite a lot of interest, and then this one will be some or no interest. Then I can just put the percentage. It makes more sense to record the percentage distributions. So I can put 3.0 there, 4.8. I'm just going to pause the video and finish this table. So I've finished my table. I've made quite a few changes to it, but this is an example of a much cleaner presentation of SPSS analysis compared to the actual SPSS output. So the important things that you should be aware of when you're generating your own tables, first of all, that all tables should always have a heading. Conventionally, we tend to put table headings at the top. For graphs, we often put the figure heading at the bottom. And this is the percentage distribution of views on climate change by the interest in politics. So it's very clear how these percentages have been calculated. You've already seen me do the views on climate change column, and here the interest in politics. I've just reproduced the column percentages here, and also for comparison I've put the total. Those are all of the respondents in the survey. So the other thing that I have included, I've only put the percentages in the actual cells because that's all of the information that you really need to report, but I have included the N, that's the number of cases, so that people could go back and work out what the actual cell count is in all of these. But if you want to just present the results of your SPSS analysis, what really matters is how these percentage distributions differ, so we can see how views in politics impacts on whether people believe climate change is happening. So that has all of the information that we need, and at the bottom I've just given the statistical significance. I've quoted the chi-squared value and stated this is significant at 95% confidence level. Alternatively, I could say that p-value is less than 0.005. Okay, could always add that in as well. So that's all of the information that you need in a Word table. So the other way of presenting the data is to use Excel to create a chart. So I'll quickly show you how to do this now for the same analysis. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit because I can copy the data from SPSS, sorry, from my Word file. So I've just copied the data into the Excel spreadsheet from the Word table that I created. Just to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on here, I just change the rows a little bit, make that wider so I can see what's happening. Okay, so this is the data. I've got the variable on climate change, so I'm just going to label that views on climate change, and then this is just label the column there. That's a great deal, quite a lot of interest. And then again, it's probably going to make sense if I just make that a little bit wider, and then this is some or no interest. So again, I'll make that a little bit wider. So I've got the data, I've got the table, which it's a condensed version of the Word table in Excel. If I select this data here, I can then generate a chart. To generate a chart, you go to Insert. Just going to do a very simple bar chart here, so I'm going to click on that icon. Just going to do a 2D chart. Then you can see that that chart is generated straight away. There's a couple of changes that we need to make. First of all, you can add the chart title. Generally, we don't tend to insert chart titles within Excel. What we normally would do, I just normally get rid of that chart title and then actually type the chart title underneath the chart when I put it in the assignment. But just for now, this chart should be titled sorry, let me just click on chart title here so you can see what I'm doing. So it's percentage distribution of views on climate change by interest in politics. Okay, so chart title there. Again, if I had different chart titles, remember you should put figure number, figure 1, figure 2. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to label these vertical axes so it's clear that it is a percentage distribution. So just have to remind myself actually. So just remembering where I do this from, if I go to the add chart element over here, and then if I click on axis title and I want to put on the primary vertical title, and all I need to put in there is just percentage distribution. So it's clear that these figures relate to a percentage distribution. And that is my table completed. So I'd save that Excel worksheet, and then you can simply copy and paste this graph into the assignment.